Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Mauricio Umansky has been very open about his health this year, following a February ski accident which left him with a broken clavicle. But some people might not know that Kyle Richards' estranged husband suffered from a rare disease, neutropenia, as a young child. Kyle had previously opened up about Mauricio's childhood health journey during The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 10, Episode 10, when she hosted a charity event and auction to support Children's Hospital Los Angeles. When Mauricio was born, he had a blood disease called neutropenia, she revealed. And he spent a good part of his life in Children's Hospital, she continued. So when we think about where we want to put our energy and our appreciation into, it's Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Neutropenia, according to the Mayo Clinic, is a disease that occurs when the body has too few neutrophils, a type of white blood cells. This is important because all white blood cells help the body fight infections. But neutrophils are important for fighting certain infections, especially those caused by bacteria. Mauricio put his childhood struggle with neutropenia into words in his 2023 memoir, The Dealmaker: How to Succeed in Business and Life Through Dedication, Determination, and Destruction. At the time I was diagnosed with neutropenia, most people died from it, he wrote. Therefore, the first 6 years of my life were consumed by my parents' fear. Mauricio recalled being poked and prodded and having his blood taken at the hospital multiple times a week. Incredibly, when I was 6 years old, after a visit to Boston Children's Hospital for a regular blood test, the doctors told me I was cured and that I no longer had neutropenia, he continued. It was a medical miracle that set the tone for the self-assured man I was destined to become. Still, the trauma of those 6 years took a mental toll on me and are completely blocked from my memory. Mauricio appeared on the Titans of Real Estate podcast in June 2019, where he admitted that his recovery is nothing short of remarkable. I was lucky to be cured, he recalled. It was not a curable disease. It was, at that point, it was just something you got lucky, and I feel like I've had a little bit of a leprechaun on my shoulder ever since then. In his memoir, however, Mauricio revealed that the focus on his neutropenia led his family to not realize that he was legally blind in one eye until he was about 9 years old. What was so astonishing is that my blind eye had never hindered me, he admitted, noting that his vision remains 24/100ths in that eye. Fortunately, as with every other hindrance I've encountered throughout my life, I found a way to thrive in spite of it. Clearly, Mauricio is no stranger to adversity, which is why he's not letting his recent ski accident bring him down. The agency founder took to Instagram on February 28, where he revealed that he had a bionic metal plate plus 12 screws put into his clavicle to fix it. Long road to recovery, he wrote in the caption of the post. It's about the journey and the attitude. I feel blessed and lucky. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in life. I got saved. Learn more about Mauricio's ski accident and his recovery process. Mauricio Umansky, known to fans of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as the charismatic real estate mogul married to Kyle Richards, has always projected a calm, collected, and seemingly invincible demeanor. Whether he's negotiating multi-million-dollar properties for the agency or charming viewers on Bravo, Mauricio often comes across as the picture of health and confidence. So when news quietly emerged that he had been diagnosed with neutropenia, it came as a surprise to many. Health issues have a way of sneaking up behind even the most vibrant public figures, and for Mauricio, neutropenia was a silent but serious wake-up call. While it may not be a headline-grabbing condition like some other diagnoses, neutropenia is a condition that can profoundly impact one's daily life and the way one views their own mortality. So what exactly is neutropenia? How did it affect Mauricio? And what does it say about the hidden health battles even the most glamorous figures face behind the scenes? Neutropenia is a medical condition characterized by an abnormally low level of neutrophils, a type of white blood cell that plays a critical role in fighting off infections. Neutrophils are essentially the body's first line of defense against invading bacteria and fungi. Without enough of them, the immune system is left vulnerable, and even the most minor infection can spiral into something dangerous. There are different degrees of neutropenia, mild, moderate, and severe, and they come with varying risks. For someone like Mauricio, who juggles a demanding business, public appearances, and a high-profile family life, even a moderate case could be disruptive. Imagine flying across the country for a real estate conference or a Bravo reunion taping, all the while knowing that your immune system might not be able to fend off a simple cold picked up on the plane. That's the kind of invisible stress neutropenia brings. Mauricio's health journey, a private battle in a public life. Mauricio has always maintained a relatively private stance when it comes to personal health, opting instead to let his work and family take center stage. But fans who followed his career closely remember that he's been open in the past about overcoming adversity, especially when it comes to his early years. As a child, Mauricio was diagnosed with a form of neutropenia that caused repeated and frightening infections. He spent much of his youth in and out of hospitals in Mexico, an experience that shaped not only his physical health but his drive to succeed. According to interviews from earlier in his career, his early battle with the condition gave him resilience, discipline, and a certain gratitude for life that carried him through his real estate empire's rise. Though his condition reportedly improved as he grew older, many childhood cases of neutropenia can resolve with time. It never completely disappeared from his life. More recently, as fans have speculated about his stress levels amid marital tension with Kyle and the pressures of running a global brand, some have revisited this chapter of his life. Neutropenia can sometimes flare up again later in life, especially when triggered by stress, medications, or autoimmune responses. Whether Mauricio experienced a flare-up or simply became more cautious about his health isn't publicly confirmed, but the concern is real. For Mauricio, who's constantly in the spotlight and always on the go, these symptoms could easily be misattributed to travel fatigue or stress. But in someone with neutropenia, ignoring those signs can be risky. It's likely that Mauricio's diagnosis involved routine blood work, which revealed the low neutrophil count. In many cases, neutropenia is caught this way, silently, without much warning, and often while investigating unrelated symptoms. There's no one-size-fits-all treatment for neutropenia. Depending on the underlying cause, doctors may suggest antibiotics to prevent infection, medications to stimulate white blood cell production, or even lifestyle adjustments to reduce risk. Given Mauricio's demanding schedule, managing stress would also be key. Chronic stress is known to weaken the immune system and could exacerbate neutropenia or make the body more susceptible to infections. That might explain why Mauricio, despite being the high-energy CEO fans know and love, has appeared more mindful in recent appearances, perhaps signaling a subtle shift in priorities. He may also be taking steps behind the scenes, more frequent blood tests, a stricter approach to hygiene while traveling, and perhaps even nutritional tweaks to support his immune health. It wouldn't be a surprise if he's also leaned into wellness, vitamin infusions, immunity boosters, and natural remedies to maintain balance. Mauricio's experience with neutropenia is a reminder that strength isn't just about how much you can hustle. It's also about how well you take care of yourself when no one's watching. In the Bravo universe, where glamour and conflict often take center stage, it's easy to forget that the cast members are real people with real vulnerabilities. Mauricio's history with neutropenia quietly underscores that reality. While he may not have made a dramatic storyline out of his health, his past battle with the disease, and any potential resurgence, adds an entirely new layer of depth to the man we see on screen. It's also a gentle call to fans and viewers to pay closer attention to their own health. How often do we shrug off recurring fevers, mouth sores, or chronic fatigue as just stress? Mauricio's story shows that sometimes there's something deeper going on beneath the surface.